Peace. Bismillah. I see there's several people in the Zen zone currently. Oh, let me mute my laptop. How's everybody doing? It's so good to be back with everyone. Welcome if this is your first time here, and welcome back for those of you who are familiar. I am Zewdy, curator of the Zen Zone. And, I like to start off by giving thanks to our Creator. So let us begin with that. Oh, Almighty God, Allah, we give thanks for the opportunity to experience and witness your marvelous creation and for allowing us to connect for a higher purpose. Rising above the chaos of this wicked world, may we find balance, be uplifted, and get grounded. Ameen. Peace, peace, peace. All right, let me get the vibes going. All right. So today I am playing some heart chakra frequencies with Tibetan singing bowls, because what I want to talk about deals a bit with that, with the heart and with women in particular. But before we get started with topics, how's everybody doing? I'm so happy to be back with everyone. I'm feeling really good and inspired. I've had an interesting last few days, and yesterday was pretty interesting in itself. IDG22 says, great to see you back on YouTube, Zewdy. Thank you. I've been getting back on YouTube consistently since about April-ish, March or April, basically since quarantine started, because I had more time to be home and just like do creative things. Hold on, let me see this chat on my laptop. I need to make it pop out so I can really see y'all. How's everyone doing though? Dallas Kid 100's in the building. Jamond, peace. Jasmine J says assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam, my sister. And all right, Besazin Abagadu, I hope I said your name correctly, says alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. All praise is due to Allah. That's right. Zabib, my sister Zabib is here. So I would like to shout out a few people who have contributed monetarily, and those people are Dale. I don't know if he's watching, but he's been, a supporter and a fan of mine for several years, and he contributed between last week and this week. And also my beloved brother Jamond, who was in the building and who is pretty much a weekly donator, and I truly appreciate it. If anybody's interested in contributing, it's in the description, like all my monetary things, Cashapp, Venmo, all that stuff. I don't know if you guys can see the description currently. I feel like when it's live, you might not be able to. At least I can't see it, but it'll be there afterwards if you're interested. Oh yeah, and PayPal. Okay, so y'all ain't telling me how y'all doing. I'm doing fine. Oh, thank you, Adi. I forgot. That's another way. On YouTube, you can do super chats, and super chats is pretty cool. You can like donate directly through YouTube. YouTube does take a percentage, so that's probably like my least favorite method, but hey, it's better than nothing, and I appreciate any amount, whether it's $4 or $40 or $400. So thank you for all of you who contribute monetarily, but most of all, I really do appreciate your presence and your time, and just I want to emphasize that. I know I say it every time, but I really want to emphasize it because many of you have been following me on YouTube and on the internet for years, and what I'm doing now seems a lot different than what I was doing before. Not that I'm not doing music anymore. I am. I'm just figuring things out on how to actually go about it and be successful with it. You know, I've mentioned in previous broadcasts that I'm working on building an in-house studio so that I can, you know, do everything for the most part, be self-sufficient as much as I can and not have to depend on too many people to you know, make music. But in the meantime, I'm working on that and working on other things and, you know, using the other gifts that Allah has blessed me with. And yeah, but I wanted to say that I really appreciate you for being here and participating in Zewdy's Zen Zone. Because if you've been with me from the beginning, you can see that the consistency in myself is always just being myself. And for those of you who appreciate me for who I am, I thank Allah for you. You know, recently I've been getting a lot of negative comments and backlash and stuff on particularly my Facebook page. And, you know, people just disagreeing with things about me that they don't know or don't understand. And, you know, mostly because I'm Muslim. And some of them think that I was a Christian, I left Christianity or something like that. And then even some Muslims who don't like me being a Muslim because I'm in the nation, and many Muslims believe that we in the Nation of Islam are not real Muslims. But Allah knows best who is and who is not a true Muslim. So, you know, I ain't tripping over that. But it's really interesting to see so much negativity coming towards me because, you know, what have I done to you to deserve that sort of talk or that sort of treatment, you know? I'm I'm not hurting anyone. I'm not stealing from anyone. I'm not lying on anyone. Um, you know, I'm not doing anything that is negatively affecting anyone or harming anyone. So it's just something to think about. I know most of you who are watching are not those who would say, you know, negative things to me. Some will because, you know, trolls come through. But, you know, I don't even trip about that kind of stuff, especially where I am in my journey now, because I just feel so secure in God. And because I feel secure in God, I feel very secure in myself. And it's taken a long time to come here because, you know, in the past I had been very insecure as a girl and in this world that kind of encourages you to not find out who you truly are, you know? And that's partially what I want to talk about today, but as I said a little earlier in the video, I want to focus specifically on women and virtue and righteousness and that sort of thing, and you know, just give some context to, I guess, my perspective and my experience as a woman who is striving to be that. And yeah, but before we get into it, I see people are saying things. Uh, Unsought 888. I'm with you guys till I get a Lyft ride. Okay, well, I pray you enjoy the conversation. Jenna says, peace, real Muslim. Checking in. Peace, my sister. Unsought also said, I gave up Facebook on July the 3rd. It just became BS. I like the news and I don't have time for all that BS. Yeah, you know, I use it for a few reasons. One reason to keep up with my family and friends, those I know personally, and then my publicly used Facebook is just to whoever is interested and follows me on there to keep them updated on what I'm doing and, you know, what's going on. Hold on, Yasin says hello. Salam. IDG22 says, "You are loved." Thank you. I appreciate that. And I know that I'm loved. I know that I'm divinely loved. And that is the greatest love of all. Shout out to Whitney Houston, because, love of God, love of self is one and the same if properly understood. And thank you. You are loved as well. Daryl says, and your expression of your faith is beautiful. So, so what the problem is? It's just, people hate and fear what they don't understand. But if they truly were seeking understanding, there are ways. There are ways, especially if you're seeking understanding of me, because, I'm sharing a lot. Speaking of which, yesterday I had the pleasure and the opportunity of being on a show on Facebook by my dear sister Allison Muhammad, and it was Tuesday Tea, and the theme of the show was The Women of Islam, a Living Testimony. Love melts all blockages. And it was such a great opportunity for several of us in Islam, in the nation, to come and share our testimonies. We shared our stories, how Islam has impacted us, and how we show up in the world as Muslims in our various career paths and callings and things. There was an attorney, a naturopathic healer, um, an energy healer, and what am I? I'm missing something. Spiritual life coaches. Something is like slipping my mind. But it was so beautiful. And if you're interested in seeing that, oh, of course, myself, an artist. Duh. I was on there as an artist who, was an artist before converting or reverting to Islam. And so I got to share some of my story, my journey, the things that I've learned, the ways that Islam has positively transformed my life and is transforming my life. And it was just such a beautiful, powerful conversation. And so many people were touched. If you're interested in seeing that, it's on Facebook. I shared it to my page. And if you don't follow me on there, just type in Zewdy and I'll pop up. But also, the sister Allison Muhammad, who hosts the show, and sister Naira Muhammad is the co-host of the show. Sister Allison, this is her tea that I showed you guys last week. Sacred, and it's a sacred womb tea, and I thought it was appropriate to drink it once again because I'm going to be talking about women, the sacredness of the female and woman, and these are the ways that you can find out more about Sister Allison. She's just amazing. She's a great sister, and I just felt so honored and humbled to be on her show yesterday. And just look at that. You see, this is just so beautiful. But yeah, and I got my tea in my cup, and my "You Are a Woman of Faith" cup, my affirmations. And for all the women that are viewing, you too are a woman of faith, and you can be if you want to be. And I want to say that it's never too late if you want to change your life. Sometimes we think that we're too far gone with some of the things that we've done, or, just being so affected by life. Sometimes we can become discouraged and just think like, there's no way that I could come back from this or be healed. And it's just not true, because God's love is so powerful that when you tap into it, miracles happen. And I am a living testimony of that, and I pray that His love continues to heal me as I strive to become a better version of myself. Dallas Kid 100 says, I really hate to hear that, Z. I really had a bad viewpoint on the Nation of Islam until you began to share your journey. Thank you. And you told me that before, but I really appreciate when you bring it up and you say that, because, I feel like that's partially what this sharing of our journeys is about, because there's so many misconceptions, misunderstandings, And, if you can experience a real Muslim and what Islam has done for us and how we use Islam in our lives, then you'll be able to see the true beauty of Islam. Islam is more than just a religion. It's more than just rituals and prayers, although it's part of Islam, but Islam is your way of life. So I strive in everything that I do in my life to do it out of Islam, because Islam is everything. So I want to talk about women. In this world, I want to say that pseudo progression is the order of the day. This world will make you to believe that a virtuous woman is lame, is whack, and that modesty is whack. And it's really sad, because if we really understood the value of ourselves as women and our sacredness, then we would understand why modesty is something that we strive to practice, not just in the way that we dress, but in the way that we express ourselves in speech, in our mannerisms. Righteousness is our nature, which is something I learned from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And that really encouraged me, because I always wanted to believe that I was good, even though, I've fallen short of goodness at times. But, and I've said this previously, but it never gets old, that our righteous nature is buried under the circumstances of our lives. And so that just means that we're righteous by nature, but the things that we experience, the environments that we're in, cause us to act other than ourselves. I bear witness to that. And, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that there is no such thing as a no good woman, and that every woman that is no good was made no good by a no good man. And that's not to shame men, because like women, men have also been made into other than themselves. And a nation can rise no higher than its women. And these are all things that I've learned in Islam through the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad under the leadership and guidance of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And that every nation in civilized society is judged by the status of their women. It's not really judged by the men. And the world's condition that it's in today is in the condition that it's in because of its mistreatment of its women. You see, our world is in shambles, is falling apart, there are uprisings everywhere, and it's because of the way that the women have been put down, have been abused, have been oppressed everywhere, and women have been devalued. And because we have been devalued, we tend to devalue ourselves, because we've been made to see ourselves less than what we truly are. And we are not the woman of man. We are the woman of God. Oh, Lord. Okay. I have some quotes that I want to reference as I speak on this, but I want to know what you guys think so far of what I'm sharing with you. This is just really heavy, deep stuff, and I just pray that every woman and girl and man and boy that hears this can benefit from what I'm sharing. So here is a quote that I actually heard Mother Tainetta Muhammad, and she was quoting Minister Farrakhan. She said, "The value of a virtuous woman, more than the value of the wealth of the earth. But the female and the value of her as a virtuous woman has been devalued by the societies of the earth. To devalue currency of any nation weakens that nation financially. When the price of gold as a standard of value goes down, then we cannot purchase what we could at the rate when gold had a higher value. The devaluation of the female and the devaluation of virtue in society has caused us to live on a plane that is far beneath that which we are capable of. This is why every religion and every society must reevaluate how we look at the females of our society. To think of her as only being valuable for procreation and pleasure is devaluing her. To think of her as not being talented or gifted, that she may be an equal sharer in the development of society, nation, or civilization, is to devalue her. To make her a sex symbol is to devalue her. To show her off before the world in an indecent manner is to devalue her. Rubies have no consciousness and do not know of their value. Neither do sapphires, diamonds, and emeralds. It is we who place a value on these stones. In this world, man has not given or placed a proper value on the female, and thus, because of this, has caused the female to devalue herself. The behavior of our women and our girls demonstrates the thinking of a devalued human. For women who accept to be displayed or kept in an inferior status is to accept devaluation of herself by the man of this world. So, I said a mouthful, but that's it right there. Dallas Kid says, the wise man of old in the scripture teaches that a good woman and wife is a crown to her husband. Hey, that's Bible right there. That's real. I'm not just saying that because my name means crown, but but that's true. It's true. Yes. We as women, as girls, we are, these are also quotes, but we are like the earth, fundamental to everything, the foundation of civilization. And, being like the earth, no matter how good the seed is, if you don't have good soil, you won't get the best product. So, as women, we are the first nurse, the first teacher of our children. And we really have to understand the power of that. The quote, you teach a man, you teach an individual, you teach a woman, you teach a nation. That's real. We have so much work to do. And we as women do have a duty and a responsibility to improve ourselves, to really get to know ourselves and get in touch with our value and who we are in the eyesight of God. I hear people sometimes, they don't want to take on that responsibility because they think that it's putting too much on us and not enough on the man. And this is not to say that the man doesn't have responsibility. He does, but we have to help each other. We really do, if we go to, being modest in our dress and things like that, I really appreciate modesty now. In the past, I didn't necessarily appreciate it because I valued the wrong things about myself. I wanted my form, the beauty of my form, to be the thing that attracted. And, at the same time, it was a very conflicting thing because it also made me uncomfortable simultaneously. But when you get to know that your true value is not in this, These are adornments, and they are beautiful, but these are not the things that we should be using to attract people, to get people interested in us. When we learn that our true value is our minds, and this is what we need to be cultivating, we need to be cultivating ourselves intellectually and spiritually. And when we do that, we can really learn to mature emotionally. Then we will value modesty, carrying ourselves with dignity. And that will be the thing that attracts, and what you will attract and who you will attract will change. Now, with men, a natural man, being attracted to the beauty of a woman, it is what it is. They're attracted. But we can help. We can help with the civilizing of our people and of our men if we strive to be more civilized as women. If there were no women walking around indecently, what are the men gonna do? What are they gonna do? They won't have a choice but to step it up themselves because we stepped it up. You feel me? And I can say in my own life that when I started to strive to step it up personally and carry myself with more dignity and just strive to be more modest and virtuous, that the type of attention that I would get had changed, and the type of people that would approach me would change. In fact, people don't approach me as much in general, and I really appreciate that because I don't want to be bothered, okay? I am, known as a public figure, and I'm not like super duper famous like a big superstar, but I do get attention, especially online and things like that. And so I've changed the way that I represent myself, and that is a reflection of what's going on in here. And, I want to say that it may not be easy because this world convinces you that you're not beautiful if you're not showing off what you got or what your mama gave you or whatever you want to call it. But I want you to know that that's a lie. It's a lie. Because you don't want to attract people on that low plane. You really don't. Because it's lust, it's not love, it's not true appreciation and true value that you'll be receiving. You will be attracting a dog, and you will be receiving the treatment of a dog. No offense to dogs. I mean, they're beasts. They live on a lower level, and so when I speak of that, I'm speaking of human beings who are not on a higher plane of existence, mentally and spiritually. And I bear witness because in my own life I see this. In my own life I have seen this. And we live in a very hypersexual world. We live in a hypersexual society here in America, but in general in this world it's so sex obsessive, and it makes it to where sex is such a focus, an inordinate focus. It has become a dirty thing when it was never intended to be that. It is a sacred act, but now it's no big deal. People are doing it casually, and it's really messing things up because we don't understand what is happening when people are connecting and the energy exchange that's going on and how that affects you emotionally and all that kind of stuff. I didn't understand it in the past, but I have a better understanding now. And personally, being a very sensitive and emotional person, it really messed me up more than I was aware of. I'm only now really coming to understand how traumatized I've been from devaluing myself and, and engaging in these things unknowingly, like just not knowing what I was doing. I've been in relationships, and I was not in happy, healthy relationships. They were all pretty toxic, to be honest. And I know that sex played a key role in the toxicity and in the longevity of those relationships. And I'm just going to be very transparent and candid about it because I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed of my past. I'm not proud, I'm not pleased, but I'm not ashamed of what my life, and I learned so much from these things, and I just want to give you a picture. So when I say that I know that sex was a big part of the toxicity and the longevity, is that when you don't have a proper relationship, when you're not relating properly to someone, and sex is a thing that is pretty much keeping you together or keeping you dealing with each other, then that might be the best thing about your relationship. Like, y'all don't even really like each other. There's infidelity, lying, and all this stuff. But, you feel the best when that is happening. And so you stay because that's what you want to do. And it's really sad because when you don't value yourself the way that you should, these are the type of things that happen. And it's just really sad. It can really mess you up psychologically, especially the more that you continue to allow that sort of thing to occur in your life. It will gradually chip away at your self-esteem and your sense of self-worth. I'm speaking from experience here. I'm telling you, there were times where I was very unhappy in my relationships. And, deep down, it's like, oh, I don't want to be with this person because I'm so unhappy. He hurts me. We don't see eye to eye. And I don't believe that he will ever be the man that I would like him to be, that sort of thing. I would feel those things, and yet it was very difficult to let go because of those things that happen when you are sexually involved with someone, and that is the basis of your relating. So when you okay, let me see the comments now. All right. Daryl said, an upright person standing on their own 2 feet, walking the straight path of Allah. Can't be no lame. Facts. Jenna says, you can't value the other person becoming intimate before fully knowing them. Modesty and abstinence protect both parties from becoming blinded by the physical. True indeed, God. True indeed. I mean, that says it all right there. Modesty and abstinence protect both parties from becoming blinded by the physical. Because the physical, it is very powerful. It is a natural thing that we are attracted and that we have sexual urges and things like that. It's natural. But when these things occur outside of the proper time, outside of the proper context, then, like she said, you become blinded by the physical. And then when you become blinded by the physical, you and the other person don't even really get to know each other on a true level. You really don't know what you're dealing with. But that's a recipe for a disaster. That will cause you and that other person to be unsuccessful ultimately, because you didn't know what you were dealing with. You got involved because of being attracted physically and getting involved physically, and then you start getting to know this person, and you like, I don't even like her, I don't even like him, I just like the sex. It's madness. But this is happening all the time because pseudo progression is the order of the day. People this is why casual sex is so damaging. It's so like, you know, people say, "Oh, you know, we're adults. We can do what we want to do. We know what we're doing." But we don't. We really don't, because if we truly knew what we were doing, that wouldn't be something that we would do. All right. Daryl says it can definitely mess you up psychologically. Rise in love, never fall in it. Yes, sir. Jermaine says, Young Queen, I've been following you since 2006. I loved the way you used to sing. Don't change. Thank you. I'm singing, I would say, better today than I sang back in 2006. Dang, 2006? That means you've been following me since before YouTube. Because I got on YouTube 2007, but I was doing like MySpace and all that kind of stuff with music since like 2003, 2004, something like that. But thank you. Thank you, Jermaine. After Twilight, this may sound cruel, but when girls have sex before marriage, it is basically bad parenting. I don't want to pin it all on girls for, you know, and that's one thing. Me and my sister Jenna were just talking about this when it comes to virtue and chastity and stuff like that. It is unfair to only put it on the woman, to only focus on the girl, because while I'm, you know, I am putting responsibility on us as girls and women when we know, but men are supposed to be virtuous as well. You know, I mean, you say this may sound cruel, but when girls have sex before marriage, it is basically bad parenting. Who are the girls having sex with before marriage? And bad parenting to a certain extent, because, you know, parents, they really try to do the best they can with what they know and what they have of knowledge and wisdom, and, you know, trying to protect their children. But at the end of the day, it is difficult. It is very difficult to raise a righteous child in this world, because this world is full of evil things that are made fair seeming, and you can't really control what a person does. You can give them rules and regulations and things like that, but if you don't learn how to instill the lesson and the knowledge into the child, if you don't learn how to teach the child the value of themselves, it's very difficult to stop them from experimenting and figuring things out, you know, the hard way. It's very difficult. You know, these are things that I think about myself as, inshallah, a future mother. I want to teach my children to value themselves and to value one another. I want to teach my daughters to value themselves. I want to teach my sons to value themselves, and I want to teach them to value the opposite sex. I want to teach them the truth, and I want them to learn to love the truth so much that they are brought up in a proper way, in a proper environment that allows them to grow and develop in the way that Allah created them to be. And it's not an easy task. It really isn't. You can have righteous parents, and the pull of this world is just so strong that, you know, the most that the parents can do is pray that Allah will guide them back to the straight path when they stray, you know? So I don't want to put all the blame on parents, because it's very hard. So I have compassion and empathy for all parties involved, you know? I really do, except for the rebellious devil and this wicked world. Jenna says, if we knew the true purpose of male-female if we knew what the true purpose of male-female relationships were, we wouldn't be so enamored with sex and physicality, because it's so fleeting. Man, say that again. Say that again. Say that again. I wish that I knew that 10 years ago, okay? Jermaine says, sex is very spiritual. People don't understand the damage that comes with the ignorance of casual sex. Insecurity is one of the biggest reasons that people don't value themselves. Boom! Right there, okay? That's why I didn't value myself, because I was so insecure. I wanted to be loved, I wanted to be accepted, and I didn't know the true value of who I was. You know? So yeah, about the parents. Not that I'm letting them completely off the hook, but you have to understand what we're dealing with in this wicked world, you know? Man. And you know, Elm Street Sniper, amen. I remember your old days. What old days? What you talking about? But speaking of old days, I want to say that the insane one, Zozo. Hi. Okay, hold up. I'm gonna read all the comments as they come, if I can. Jenna says, and that's why dressed half naked, if you got all the likes and attention, you're not fulfilled. You're not. You're not. I can speak from my experience when I used to dress like that. You know, I used to get mad likes for that. I used to get mad attention when I would be half naked, damn near naked. And it never made me feel satisfied or fulfilled. It's that instant gratification that quickly leaves. Now, Elm Street Sniper, who are you? Do I know you in real life? I need you I need you to reveal yourself. I want to say that, you know, so while I dressed, you know, not very modestly in the past and stuff like that, the way that I expressed myself, and I wasn't super vulgar or like raunchy and stuff like that, and you can see that in my past YouTube videos, but I leave my old YouTube content up there because it's history, you know. It's, you know, where I was in my life and my journey at the time, and I want people and myself to be able to look back at that and see that, you know, see the way that I used to express myself, the way I used to dress, the way, you know, the mannerisms I used and all that kind of stuff. That was me when I didn't know truly who I was. I had a certain sense of self, and my true self was in there. It was buried in there, you know what I'm saying? And my true self would come out at times. But I didn't know what I know now. And now that I know better, I'm striving to do better. And I'm not saying that I've mastered it. I'm not saying that I'm anywhere near perfect. And I can't even say that I am righteous. But I'm striving to be righteous because I know better. And I know that that is what will sustain me and us, our righteousness. Our righteousness will sustain us, especially for what's to come. Because we are only in the beginning of sorrows. Whew. Good God Almighty. Are you Egyptian or Asian? I'm neither. Well, I'm Afro-Asiatic. I'm the Asiatic black woman. I am Eritrean and Ethiopian. I am the original woman. The mother of civilization. That's who I am. You feel me? And that's who all my sisters are on this line too. Ah, Zabib, we God. That's right. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Woo! Ethiopia Tube says salam, salam, Zewdy. Salam, peace. Good to see you. Elm Street Sniper says you deep now. Elm Street Sniper, I'm really trying to figure out, like, do I know you from like IRL, like real life, or is this like, you know, just an internet thing? I had some internet friends, you know what I'm saying? I was deep on the internet. Like, I've been on the internet since I was like 8 years old. I'm not exaggerating. I've literally been on the internet in like Yahoo chat rooms and stuff since I was very, very young. You used to follow me on IG. Was this the same name, on IG. After Twilight, Zabib, do you remember the loop? Yes, I do remember the loop. Yeah, what a time. My thoughts on polygamy. Well, I know that polygamy was prescribed for a certain purpose and for a certain time. You know, when the men were off to war and many women were left without their husbands, without fathers for their children, it was permitted that men would take on more than one wife, you know, so that the woman would have somebody there. But one is better for you if you but knew. Oh, Lord. Personally, I would say I don't think that I am, if I am spiritually mature enough for something like that. Honestly, just being very honest, maybe because I'm very emotional and, you know, I don't like to share. And I pray that doesn't become my trial. Oh, Allah. But you know, whatever Allah has for me, I pray that I will be able to accept whatever it is. I'm not a 5%er. I am a Muslim in the Nation of Islam, where the 5%ers came out of. So I am a Muslim MGT vanguard. Ethiopia Tube Zewdy, I am not speak Englishnya, sorry, but I love you. That's okay. That's all right. I don't speak Amharic or Tigrinya, but I love you too, beloved. Are you married now? No, I'm not married. Dallas Kid said, dudes want 5 wives and can't provide for one. No, you're right. You're right about that. And you want to know? That's okay. We're going to speak on this. We're going to speak on this sort of thing. Men that desire to have more than one woman, oftentimes it's coming from that low plane because they're looking at more than one woman, more pleasure in their life. But, you know, men that actually have that experience, they will say that it is a lot of work to maintain more than one woman. Hardly any man knows how to maintain one woman. Not just financially, but spiritually, emotionally, physically. So if you can't do that with one successfully, what you look like trying to get more than one woman? You know? Yeah. Have you been to Mecca? No, I have not been to Mecca yet, but inshallah, at some point in my lifetime, I would love to make Hajj. Yeah. Are you married? Oh, I already answered that. No, I'm not married. And, oh, Jenna, rep for the Vanguard. Quick moving, fast thinking, clean inside and out, right down to the modern times. That's right, sister. That's right. Yes, ma'am. Striving. You know, one day I would like to be married, but I want to say that I do believe that it will take a very particular kind of man to be able to deal with me and all that comes with me. And I don't mean that in my just like who I am as a person, although that's part of it. But as I mentioned earlier, being somewhat of a public figure, I get a lot of attention. I get a lot of negativity. You know, I get sometimes threats. I get a lot of things that, you know, the average man would not know how to deal with and not know how to deal with me in those experiences. And that's something to consider. That's something that I consider. Something that I think about. You know, there are ways to deal with those things properly and successfully. And yeah. EthioTube said, you was Christian, you was beautiful girl, but now not more beautiful girl. I was never a Christian. You know, people have this idea that I was a Christian and then I became a Muslim. I'm going to set the record straight for the 157th time. I was never a Christian. I grew up atheist. I did not believe in God at all before coming into Islam. I was never a Christian. I didn't go to church. I didn't celebrate Jesus. I didn't know anything about the Bible, really. You know, sometimes my dad would like reference certain Bible stories, and I'll have no idea what he'd be talking about. Like, he used to call me the prodigal's daughter, and I'd be like, what is that? you know? Um, but yeah, now, Zabib, I only know Samson and Delilah. Yeah, yes, he would. Okay, so now as a Muslim, I read the Bible, I study the Bible, and I know so much more about Jesus than I ever did before I was a Muslim. Because I was an atheist. I wasn't a Christian. I wasn't studying Islam. I wasn't studying Christianity. I wasn't studying anything religious, spiritual. I should have said this in the beginning, but one of the reasons I wanted to focus on women and female today is because, well, I had a conversation with my sister Jenna the other day, and we were talking about virtue and being chaste and all that kind of stuff. And I had been dealing with virtue and righteousness in my own personal life, just things that I had been thinking on and dealing with personally. But if you notice that today is episode 19 of Zewdy Zen Zone. And Surah or chapter 19 of the Holy Quran is Al-Maryam, which is Mary, mother of Jesus. And for those of you who are not familiar with Islam and the truth of Islam, we Muslims, we love Jesus. We respect Jesus. We revere Jesus and his mother, Maryam, or Mary. And she is the only woman in the Quran that has a surah named for her. And I'm not super deep with the teachings. I mean, I strive to explain as much as I comprehend. But I do know that Mary was a sign for us, the black woman, particularly the black women of America. Because it is through your wombs that we have birthed the Messiah, but we will continue to, the more that we get in touch with who we are, because Mary was such an example of the highest of women in society that we as followers strive to be. What you say? I don't know. I have no idea what you're saying. Ethiopia too. What you say? Ilimana? I don't know. I don't know what that word is. Crazy, right? Jesus is the way. I mean, we love Jesus. Jenna says, yes, such a deep issue and must be addressed for us to get free. After Twilight, Sheba also has a surah named after her. Oh, yes. Oh, Saba? The insane one. Shiva. Is that something in Sanskrit? The insane one? Nicer 182. Assalamu alaikum. I appreciate how you hold firm to being an MGT. No matter what question is asked or issue raised, you rep with modesty in your responses. Wa alaikum salam. Thank you. Praise be to Allah. I really appreciate that acknowledgement and observation, because I really strive to be a proper representation, because I want to be myself at all times, but at the same time, I want to make sure that I'm coming before people properly and representing properly, because I know that I'm not just representing myself. While I am representing myself and being myself, I know that when I'm speaking on the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and when I say the name of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, that is a heavy responsibility. And I want to make sure that I am proper. And yeah, so thank you. Thank you for that. I really do appreciate that. Woo! Shiva is an Indian deity. Shiva is Saba. Yeah, that's what I thought. Shiva, the name just sounded familiar. Like, I don't know anything about Hinduism, but I've seen some of the names of the deities. So when I saw Shiva, I was like, I thought that's what that was. After Twilight says, when I see you, I remember Mariam, mother of Jesus. I have no idea why you remind me of her. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Thank you. That is quite a compliment. I mean, oh Lord. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. You know, thank you. Thank you for saying that. Maybe it's this thing on my head, but maybe it's because, as I said, she was a sign for us, and those of us who are striving to be virtuous and righteous women, Mary is the best example. Thank you. That was very touching. I really appreciate that. And one time my sister Jenna said a similar thing, and it just like shook me. Oh my gosh, y'all trying to make me cry on this live. Dang. Zabib says, I have to head out, but I'm loving the conversation. I'll catch the rest on replay. Peace. Aw. Also wanted to say I love your visual setup today. Thank you. I recently got this plant stand, and the sun is like right behind me, so when I move you can't really see it properly. But I got these plants, a plant stand, and I was feeling very earthy today, so I wanted the plants to be my background. So thank you, Zabib. I'll talk to you later. Dallas Kid 100 says, we can really move forward when we talk to each other and not at each other. As a follower of Jesus, I can see his light of understanding all around you. What are y'all trying to do to me? Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you. Oh Lord. All praise is due to Allah, who came in the person of Master Father Muhammad. Man, I have to say that whatever of good you see in me, whatever of the light of understanding, as you say, you see in me, I have to give the credit to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, because it is because of him. It is because of Minister Farrakhan that I can say anything of wisdom and of understanding. And everything that I'm giving to you, I got from him. It's because, as I say, I share with you my life experiences and the things that I've gone through, the ways that I used to be and the ways I used to think and the actions I used to take, But the only reason and the only way I was able to change and grow and heal is because of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. When I started studying his words, when I started watching his lectures and applying the wisdom that he was sharing in my life, when I started applying it in my life, that is what caused me to change. That is what caused me to grow spiritually and really learn the lessons of my past experiences, and that's it. Like, I can't say it was anything else. It was that. It's these teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. But Minister Farrakhan, I'm telling you, not just for women, but for men too. If you listen to his words, there are countless lectures on YouTube. Type in Louis Farrakhan and something that's a topic that you're interested in. You can type in Louis Farrakhan talks about Jesus. You can put Louis Farrakhan talks about love. Louis Farrakhan talks about sacrifice. Louis Farrakhan talks about manhood, and whatever it is, there are lectures out there that you can find and listen to, and just drink in what he's saying. And what he says is real, practical, tangible advice, and just methods, things that you can really apply to your life. And when you apply them, you will see your life transform. I guarantee it. But you really have to try it. Try it out. Look, I'm a living testimony, and I'm just getting started, I would say. I started 7 years ago, but to me, this is just the beginning of my journey, inshallah, I would say. Zewdy, I saw a video of Louis Farrakhan being a Freemason. Is that true? Louis Farrakhan, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, is a Muslim. He is a Muslim follower of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And you spelled his name wrong. It's Louis. And that's another thing. If you hear things, you hear this and that, because there's a whole lot of propaganda. There's a whole lot of falsehood out there about Minister Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam at large. Do your research. Do your research. I'm telling you, I had to do my research in the beginning of my journey, and I ended up in the Nation. You might not end up in the Nation, but you will get some truth, and you'll get a better understanding of the truth of the Nation and the minister. Wa alaikum salam, Zuazo. Zuazo? Did I say that? Did I pronounce that correctly? The insane one. I follow Malcolm X's way. What does that mean? Yes, madame. Oh, great. I'm glad. I really don't like to mess people's names up. So whenever I see them, I do my best to observe it and then phonetically try to figure out how to say it. And I ask, if I messed it up, please spell it out phonetically so that I can do it correctly. Oh my goodness, has it already been an hour? May Allah grant you paradise. Ameen. May He grant you the same and more. What could be more than paradise? Oh Allah. I'm so happy right now. I mentioned this earlier. The Facebook show I was on yesterday. If you go to my Facebook page, just type in Zewdy, you'll see a box of 4 sisters, and we were talking. But I'm going to ask the sister maybe if I could upload it to my YouTube, just so it can have more traction, so more people can see it. People that may never go to the Facebook. I'm gonna ask her and see, because I really would like for more people to see that conversation, because it was really deep and really powerful, and like, man. I mean, ya Rabbi, yeah. Can you really separate Malcolm's way from Elijah? Just asking. Well, yes, in that he left the nation. And that's all. That's all I'll say. But within his time within the nation was definitely the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's teaching. After Twilight says, will you marry a Muslim who is not a member of the Nation of Islam? Emphatically no. All right. So it is the end. Oh, Beware says chapter 34, Al-Saba in the Quran is named after a city in Yemen that was destroyed by a flood. Thank you for that. Okay. Well, it is about that time, and I did get a request for a song by my sister Jenna, and I pray that I do it justice. And just in case, because I don't want to mess up the words, I'm going to pull the words up. Well, before I get to that, I just want to see, does anybody else have any comments on what we spoke about today, or any questions, or anything that you would like to share before I sing a song and go along my merry way? I just realized that I kind of match the plants too. That's pretty cool. Look at me being all matchy-matchy. It's a nation. All right. Oh, wow. That. Oh, see, my heart chakra Tibetan singing bowls had ended right when I was pretty much ready to get this song going. Allah is the best of planners. Woo! Allah is the best of planners. Okay. I don't know if my sister is still here because this was her request, but I hope that you guys enjoy it. And I want to say I be feeling a little wary about doing requests, and mainly because YouTube be trying to demonetize my videos. Like, I don't know why. It's not like the real actual copyrighted stuff is there. It's my voice, you know? But YouTube be hating on the sister. Like, dang, let me get my little coin. My little coin. Because it be little. Okay? YouTube don't give me nothing. Alright. Ah, don't mind me. Alright, y'all. Why did this expand like that? What? Oh, there we go. So the song that I will be singing in closing is by Beyonce, and it is I Care. And this is a fun song to sing. So you told me how you hurt. I told you how you hurt me, baby, but you don't care. Now I'm crying and deserted, baby, but you don't care. Ain't nobody tell me this is love when you're immune to all my pain. I need you to tell me this is love. You don't care, well that's okay. Well, I care. I know you don't care too much, but I still care, baby. Oh, I care. I know you don't care too much, but I still care, baby. Oh, ever since you knew your power, you made me cry. And now every time our love goes sour, you won't sympathize. You see these tears falling down to my ears. I swear you like when I'm in pain. Yeah. I try to tell you all my fears. You still don't care. Oh, that's okay. Hey, well, I care. I know you don't care too much, but I still care, baby. Oh, I care. I know you don't care too much, but I still care, baby. Oh, boy, maybe if you cared enough, I wouldn't have to care so much. What happened to our trust? Now you're just giving up. We used to be so in love. Now you don't care no more. Ooh, 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 ooh. I still care, baby. Oh, I care. I know you don't care too much, but I still care, baby. Oh, oh Lord. So hot. Well, thank you very much. I pray that that was good enough. I pray that you, Jenna, specifically enjoyed that. Maybe one day we can sing it together. Well, that concludes our time in the Zen Zone. Thank you all for your participation, your energy, your comments, your time. I do not take it for granted. I really appreciate this time that we've had together, and I pray that something that I said was insightful, enlightening. There was so much more that I could have said, but maybe it'll be a part 2 next week. I'm not sure. But there's, when it comes to the sacredness of the female and the value, the divine value of women, it's just, it's infinite. There's so much that could be said. So I pray that what I said today was helpful. I know that seeing your comments and your feedback was insightful and enlightening to me too, and there were a lot of profound things that were said, and I really, really appreciate this conversation, because these are the type of things that we need to talk about and we need to have a greater understanding of if we are to grow, if we are to get, a better understanding of self and one another, and really to bring in a whole new reality, because that's what we're here to do. And we can't do that with old ideas. We can't do that with false ideas and concepts of self, of one another, of reality, And I'm just so thankful to be learning the truth and being able to share it with whoever is willing to lend me their ears and their hearts and their minds. So I really, really appreciate you all. And I thank you for your time, energy, and presence. And if you would like to connect with me outside of YouTube, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Just look up Zewdy, very easy to find. And we are now exiting the Zen Zone. Thank you so much. Thank you. I thank Allah for this time that we have together. And until next week, peace.